What's up, Rawstocks fam? Back again, trying something different. We're going to be looking at the Mag 7 plus a couple additional stocks. This is by popular demand that we do some analysis on stocks other than Tesla. So here we are. We're trying it again. It seemed to be popular yesterday. We got quite a few views on it. A lot of people seem to like it. Even in the Discord, I called out an Amazon call, which is different. We normally just do Tesla, sometimes SPY. So we're going to be trying to mix it up a little bit. Sometimes Tesla isn't the best stock to trade. Sometimes there's other options to make money. And if you're only locked into Tesla, and it's a nothing burger kind of day, well, you're just kind of trading for pennies. We're going to continue to try to bring you guys some just daily analysis. We're not going to drop down into any of the lower time frames. We're just going to specifically look at the daily chart on these. We're going to see if we can identify the trend, see if we can identify where we're heading, and where we're likely to head into the future. So first stock we're going to look at is SPY. And so on SPY, you can see yesterday we talked about this rising 21 SMA, which we still have rising. It's going to create a trend line, right? We've been kind of following it, haven't really back tested it too much, but we are following it, right? And so every time we blow off a little bit, we kind of trade back towards it. So here we're blowing off a little bit, right? And we might be trading back towards it, but we had a nice green day after the last 2 days, trading days last week, Thursday and Friday. We had kind of dojis. This one was a real small doji, small body doji. And then we, had a nice green day today. Not a big price move, but, it is a green day. Something I want to notice on the daily chart here is that we have a swing high, swing low on a daily time frame. Now we're back up. We're right at optimal trade entry. So that would be something that we're looking at to see a potential smart money reversal, even if it's just for trade back in the opposite direction. Which would be down in this case, and we got our extension levels here if that plays out. So this is a low risk. If you were trying to take a little bit of a longer term position, not really long, but maybe like weeklies or maybe even a couple weeks out, right? You could be looking at this. This isn't going to fully play out on like a zero day to expiration. So this is not a day trade. Again, daily chart, you're looking for a little bit longer term move. But if you were entering at optimal trade entry and you set your stop loss above the old high here and you targeted here, we got a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio just by targeting the low here. And then if you continue to extend that to full symmetrical swing, it's a 4.65 RVR. So not a bad entry, right? You could get stopped out easily. It'd be a move, about a $2 move to the upside would stop you out. For a potential of about a $10 move to the downside if it was to fully play out to the symmetrical swing and hit the 21 EMA or SMA that's rising. So that's kind of what we're looking at SPY, just seeing to see, well, is this a confirmation, right? We got our, overbought, overextended RSI reading. Right? And so we easily could see this start to come back down and start to see this roll over, price come back down, hit that symmetrical swing, hit that 21 SMA. I wouldn't be looking for like a deep move. I would be just looking for this to come back down, find a little support, see if it could push higher from there. Jump over to Netflix. Netflix had a nice strong day. We broke above this high right here. We closed above this high right here. This becomes a breaker block. That's why it's highlighted in yellow. So if you share my chart, again, I share my chart all the time. If you're interested in my chart, hit me up on the socials, find me on Discord, send me a direct message, say, hey, Rustic, send me your chart link. Happy to share it. Has all my custom indicators with all my settings that you can share. Has 8 different indicators. Don't use them all at once necessarily, but they're all there for your use. I'm happy to share that with you guys. You basically just click the link, make a copy of it, load it right into your chart. It becomes your chart, so you can chart directly with me and know exactly what I'm talking about. So we got this breaker block, right? We closed above it. It looks bullish. We could be setting up some RSI divergence. We closed above this high, but it looks pretty good. I mean, Netflix does look pretty strong. So we could see a move higher. Let's look at where that might be. So we have gap here. Haven't got the gap fill yet. So that's what I'd be, maybe shooting for, into next week, maybe 507. We're at 486. Could take a couple weeks to get to that, but that's what I'm expecting to happen. We have a little bit of congestion there. If we push even higher up there, we got another gap up here. So definitely some targets to fill. We've already partially filled this gap, so there's really no reason why we're not going to continue up and fill that gap to the upside. So let's go ahead and we can put that level in there. 507 basically, that's what I'm shooting for. Could start to ride. You see an auto trend line developing here. Could start to ride that up, or we just could shoot up, hit that level, and then find some correction there. But we are just coming off a nice correction and then a rally up. You know, a real face ripping rally up, drop down. We're still above the 21 SMA. We're still above yesterday's close. Right, so this looks bullish. No reason to play it any differently, right? The trend is your friend until it doesn't work. And so we got a market structure break, right, which is a good shine. We got a market structure break here. Got one there. So at this point, we're looking for 507.42 to be taken before a new direction is set. Moving over to Apple. We got our liquidity levels there for the 1 hour. Let's take those off. All right, so on Apple, Apple does not look so hot. If you check it out, we got doji, right? And then bearish, still kind of a doji candle with a longer tail wick. But you can see we made an attempt to come down and test that 21 SMA. We're in overbought territory. I would expect, you know, Apple to come back down, test maybe November high. Maybe even come back down and test November, the previous week low, which would have been last week's low of last Monday. So I do expect that this might come back down just a little bit further, at least hit that 21 SMA. If we come down, we might find a bounce from there and then potentially further selling to the downside. But it could continue to rally too. You know, it's been a very strong stock, so we're just seeing a little bit of correction. Totally healthy. If we were to get going much lower than that, you know, eventually over, you know, the next month or so, we'd be looking at 187. And then we get a bunch of fair value gaps here that are going to be magnetic. I'm not sure if we're ready to take those quite yet. A lot will depend if we get below the 21 SMA, see the 21 SMA roll over, which could then drive us down into these fair value gaps. But as of right now, it's looking fairly weak. We got a daily bias is bearish, and we're going to see how it reacts to the 21 SMA and some of these previous lows and highs from last week and last month. Checking out Microsoft. Microsoft, we were looking at this optimal trade entry that we've seen on the daily chart. Okay, we got to optimal trade entry. We sold off. We're still working on this breakdown candle. Nothing has changed. We ran a test here of the 21 SMA, failed to break above it. Okay, but we did break the previous day's high, so technically daily bias is bullish. But we need to get above this 21 SMA of 374. 374, yeah, almost exactly. So we pop above that. There's a good chance that SMA could move up and curl back up and then could run us back above 384.26, but not expecting it yet. What I was looking for is for this optimal trade entry to hold. So let's see if we can get a rejection on this 21 SMA tomorrow and then drive us down. Full symmetrical swing would be 341.67. We are kind of just around neutral on the RSI, but have been trending down during this move. We do have fair value gaps all in here, and we have an order block all the way down here. But symmetrical swing would be our maximum target, at least on this optimal trade entry. So we didn't get it perfect because we're already 3 days late to the party, but this isn't a bad entry. We can look at what our risk reward ratio would be if we ran it all the way to symmetrical swing. It'd be a 2.4 to 1. It's not too bad. Better entry would have been up here. If we do pop up, then we're above the 21 SMA. I would not be looking to short if we get back up there. So if tomorrow ends up being a bullish day, I would not be looking to short it. But if it ends up being another bearish day and it looks like a good entry, we're looking at these targets down here: 357.21, 349.76, 341.67. Let's jump over to Google. Google had a bullish day. Look at that. Broke the 21 SMA. Broke above the high from over on last Thursday. So nice move. Still might find rejection in this resistance line, but we do have our liquidity targets here at 138.57, 139.50, 140, 132. So that's to the upside, right? And the only thing we got to do is break this resistance trend line. Then we're taking out these liquidity levels, this order block, right? We are in premium already. We've seen it kind of chop in here. We also cannot confirm it being bearish until we break down below this trend line. So maybe we pop up and maybe we coil back some more in this triangle pattern that is forming here. So we'll just have to see. RSI looks bullish. We do have this order block down here that we'll be watching. But as of right now, it does look good that you could potentially take a long entry up to maybe 138.52, 138.57, whatever. And currently we sit at 135. So it'd be nice, like $3 move to take out that first liquidity target. So that might be a good long entry if you were looking to go long on Google. But I wouldn't expect too much more than that. If we do start breaking it, then it's really, gets to be another story, very bullish at that point. But hasn't given us any clear indication of that yet. So we'll be continuing to watch that. Amazon had a nice day as well. We entered a call on Amazon, currently up on it, traded down a little bit into the end of the day, had some profit taking, but still nice bullish move, not quite overextended, above the 21 SMA, above the previous day's high. So this is a daily bias bullish, right? We entered here, didn't get the best entry on there, but looked bullish nonetheless. Targeting 158.62. Stop loss would be, basically today's opening price or maybe today's wick low. So it's a 2.15 at this point. Or, if you're already in the trade, you can move your stop loss up so you don't end up losing any money on that trade. But either way, Amazon looks bullish to that first liquidity target at the minimum, and then we'll see from there. We also have a developing resistance bullish trend, but it's a resistance line heading up. And then this trend line here, very aggressive. Wouldn't expect it to hold if we did attempt to head down lower, but you can see like a rising wedge kind of deal. And so I would be saying if we reject there and we come back down, I would not expect this trend line to hold for very long. It's way too aggressive of a trend line. I'll take a look at Meta. Meta had a nice day as well. Meta's bullish, took the high above the 21 SMA, above the previous day high. RSI is looking bullish. This is a good trade, right? We got our liquidity levels here, 352.93, so 353 and 353.77. And then we have an order block above, up all the way up at 380. Meta's a nice trade. Would be expecting continued rally on Meta. We got our correction here, right? We found support. Came back down, still found support in this order block, rallied up from there, new high, right? Market structure shift, market structure break. Going to be looking for higher highs on Meta. Take a look at NVDA. NVDA did all right. Bullish day as well, above the 21 SMA. RSI pointed up, above the previous day high. Daily bias bullish. Resistance line developing, right? Looking for a push up on Meta, probably to 250. 522, 523. See if we can get there, right? I would expect at least a run on this previous high at 505, 505.70, but still looking for us to probably intercept this resistance line one more time at least. At that point, anything goes with NVIDIA. It's a incredibly strong stock right now. It's already seen its correction. Now we're pushing to higher highs. So we'll see how high NVIDIA can take us. Also looking at LULU, I got to put on LULU. Might consider cutting. It's already significantly down. But although we set a higher, although we had a bullish candle that closed above the previous day, we're still working on this breakdown candle, and we're significantly overextended. We are above previous highs here. It looks like a really strong stock. Had a big correction. Looked like it might have been setting up Head and Shoulders. Never flushed. Then ran it up, right? So we're in no man's land with LULU. We're just at highs right now, and so we'll see. Maybe it pushes up. It's got an aggressive 21 SMA, right? So we'll be looking to see if this continues down. If it breaks, because of how aggressive this is, I'd expect it to pull down whenever it finds a top. Who knows? I mean, that top could be up here, right, and break down and then back test, something like that. You never know, though. Could definitely just see this fall apart here, come back and back test, and then target maybe some of these fair value gaps or some of these order blocks. We do have this big fair value gap here. I was looking for it at least to come back down. Didn't expect it to rally up today. Was looking for it to come down, back down into this fair value gap. But, you know, LULU, just like NVDA, can get moving fast. It seems to be a darling in the market right now. So, you know, as long as you can, suppose you should be going long in these until it gives us a reason to not go long anymore, just like NVIDIA. So that's it for today. Hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. Really excited that I'm getting so much feedback. We're making a lot of changes in the Rawstock, in the way we're doing the videos and the way we're running the Discord. So check out the description below. There's a link to the Discord 7-day free trial for premium members to get customized callouts, mostly for Tesla, but we're trying to diversify a little bit with those. Also chart analysis, community, education, for smart money concepts and all kinds of other things. So join us on the Discord. Check out the links. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Helps to get the name out. Appreciate all you guys' support, and we'll see you on the next one.